2 or 3 weeks, yeah.
They say it'll be packed.
One, yeah.
Quilt Show did pretty good down there.
Did you throw?
About 36.
Yeah, and we think it's going, right?
Yes.
Call us work session to order. Roll call, please.
Okay. Jane Pope,
Present.
Aaron Cook.
Here.
Bill Bruner, no. Mike Lawrence.
Here.
J.R. Holcraft.
I'm here.
Joe Johns.
Here.
Mayor Carr.
Here.
And myself.
Okay. Jenny?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is in regards to the utility director. As you all know, we've begun negotiations with Mr. Olin Clausen. Myself and Aaron and Mike were speaking with him on Thursday. We plan on meeting with him again this upcoming Thursday, again, another phone conference. One of the things that we talked about was the salary. We, as you all know, in the meeting that we had last week, we were going to go ahead and recommend or suggest to him or offer him the $85,000. That was, I guess, not exactly what he was looking for lack of better terms. He came back, well, actually, before we presented that number to him, he still said that he wanted the $110,000, even after hearing the benefits package and all of that information. I've since sent over more detailed information as far as the benefits package for him to review. Just to kind of give you an idea as where he is right now with salary, he's currently at $113,000, and he has the eligibility to get a 20% bonus on top of that. So potentially he could earn $135,000 at his position now. However, having said that, he's still asking for the $110,000. Now, when we talk to him on Thursday, he may have something different to say from that.
When the 85 was offered, he said, not a deal breaker, not what I was expecting.
Correct.
So he didn't say no.
He didn't say no. So I don't know where he's going to be coming back at. However, we would like to be prepared for when he does come back at something. So what I'm wanting to ask you all is for what our max number would be. I'm not saying we're going to go in with that max number, but it would be good to know as far as how high we can go. Does anybody have any suggestions with that?
Well, I definitely want to go in smaller increments at a time.
Yeah.
And I think after the meeting, we'd talked about possibly asking the board to be able to go up to 100.
Up to 100.
But I definitely don't want to offer.
Right. No, I don't want to go in there and jump up 15,000 either.
Right.
But I mean, it's good for us to at least know where that stopping point is.
Because actually, by listening to him, talking to him, I think somewhere 90 to 95 is where it would end up.
Yeah,
you know.
I think probably like 95 as well.
So,
Jenny, how do you spell that gentleman's last name?
It's Clausen, C-L-A-W-S-O-N.
Okay.
so you want to put that in the motion, Mike?
I would like,
Well, and also before, and maybe we should do two different motions. I'll go ahead for this and.
I think she wants to say something
Okay.
before you
Go
make a
ahead.
motion.
Mel was making 115, right?
Right.
I think we should go up to 115, top number. Hopefully it won't get there, but hopefully we'll get him.
I make a motion for the board to allow us to go up to 100,000 max for negotiations. And if it goes beyond that, then it'd have to come back to the board.
A motion, is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Just a second. Okay. Jane?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Okay. Mike?
Yes.
JR?
No.
No. Okay. It's 3 yeses to 1 no.
Another piece of what we were talking with Mr. Clausen about is he did mention, and I think we've all spoken about this, how he hasn't been to the area yet. So I wanted to come to you to ask approval to bring him and his wife out for a visit we're hoping to do this next week. I did mention the possibility of later next week for him if we were able to do that. So I wanted to ask the board if we'd be able to fly him and his wife out, have
week.
accommodations for him.
Next week, most of the streets in town are gonna be closed one day or another.
No, it's just,
No, that's this week, yeah. No, I'm
Sorry.
talking like late next
I'm
week.
sorry, I was on the wrong week. Quit. I'll hit you. Okay,
How many days?
We're thinking 3 to 4.
Because he was suggesting, before he takes any job this far, thousands of miles away from where he lives now, he'd like to check out the neighborhood, because he's got 5 kids, and he'd like to see what's available for them in the neighborhood, and basically check out the city and see what they have to offer before he accepts anything.
Yeah. And I can understand that. I think I'd want to do the same thing if it were me.
I would imagine just about anything's better than living in New Mexico, though.
what?
You never know. I don't know. He's been there his whole
I
life.
agree.
And then,
I don't know, I prefer
I
New
think
Mexico
you
over
probably
This
want
way.
hotel accommodations, is that
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We were flight out here, hotel accommodations, and probably give them some kind of dollar amount for meals each day as well. And I believe that's all we talked about. Some kind of transportation to and from the airport. I don't know if that's in the form of a rental car or somebody going to get him himself. Rental car might not be a bad idea, so he
Oh,
can
get
kind
him a rental
of
car.
cruise around town and check things out on his own.
How's he gonna get around once he gets to the hotel?
Right. Like if he comes for a weekend and he and his wife want to kind of check things out, it might be better to have a rental car. So yeah,
What hotel are you looking at? Are you thinking about putting him over at Hollywood?
probably, yeah.
We don't have a Motel 6.
We wouldn't want to put him there.
They leave the light
I'm
on.
just kidding. I'm just
They
kidding.
do leave the light on.
The bedroom down there?
What's the board wanna do?
I'll make a motion, to allow Jennifer Felix to take care of, 2 airfares for him and his wife, hotel accommodations, a food allowance, and hotel accommodations for 3 to 4 days,
Rental car?
In a rental car?
and a rental car.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Jane,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
okay, Mike,
Yes.
and JR.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. One other thing in regards to the utility director, Mr. Clausen, he's the gentleman that's saying that he would have 45 to 60 days before he's able to start. When Mike was speaking with him on the phone, we're thinking it's probably going to be closer to the 40 to 45 days. However, that's going to be from whenever everything's finalized, whenever we get the contract signed and everything. So I was wanting to recommend, starting in October, being able to make an agreement with Mr. Mel Davis to come back to help us as the utility director for the fee of $500 a week. And I wanted to get the boards.
When would that start?
It would have to be,
October 2nd or 1.
it would have to be the 2nd, because I would have to make the agreement with him on the 1st. I can't do it any earlier than the 1st.
That put him past his 30 days?
Yes, yeah. The 1st is the first day that I can actually make that agreement with him.
So we're talking about maybe 7 weeks or so.
Yeah,
That's would be
my
40,
count.
50 days.
yeah. I mean, it depends, it's all based on how long this process
Okay.
takes, you know what I mean? So, by the time that we get, if we're able to come to an agreement with Mr. Clausen on Thursday, which would be, the best theory that we would have, then we would have to go ahead and prepare the contract, present that to the board for approval, and so then that's when I'm thinking the 40 days is gonna start. because that's when he would probably be giving notice and getting into his moving gear. So, let me think. I was looking at this earlier, I'm sorry. I mean, that takes us into the middle of November, 40 days from the beginning of October.
Now, is there a set of, number of hours per week that he'll, give to the city, or?
No, there's no set. As many as we need or as little as we need them for.
Did you check with Greendale Utilities?
No, we didn't agree on that. That wasn't approved. That wasn't
Right.
voted.
We did agree on that.
No, it didn't
No.
pass.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't passed.
You'd be
I
better off.
made a motion for it, but it didn't pass.
Then you'd be better off with somebody you've had in place. Because he'd be just like a new guy coming in.
Well, I got a question that I thought about after the last meeting, and I'm totally confused. How did we offer a utility person within place and employment, the utility director's position, with a contract agreeing that he would go back into the union, not necessarily the utility department, but he would go back in the union and not lose any of his standings? And then all of a sudden, when we want to bring in somebody temporary, that's a no-no. Now, where did the laws and the rules change?
Which contract are you referring
Andy
to?
Lyons.
No, that contract was never presented for that exact reason.
That's why he wouldn't.
That's why we weren't able to come to an agreement, because we couldn't agree on that part.
I thought you just couldn't agree to send him back to the utilities, but he would be sent back within the city wherever there was a opportunity or a job
No.
placement.
No, it was never agreed upon.
We got Mel on the board. Any discussion?
I mean, this is a lot better than, first is, I think, $112 an hour, then it was $93 an hour.
Right.
So,
Yeah, since we're out of that 30 days, we don't have to go by that contract anymore, so it's a lot more reasonable.
And I believe there have been a few issues in the utility department, where he could have been used too.
We've been handling it, but it's, Mel needs probably back up, because some of the deals he's made with some of these people, we don't know what they all are. And I mean, some of the people that does utilities.
So Andy was never guaranteed a job back within the city? Is that why he turned down the contract?
We never did good with that.
No, we didn't even come to an agreement on those terms. We weren't able to agree on anything.
But that was a possibility that he could have at that time.
I don't know if it was a possibility. We were talking with them about it. Yeah, I mean, it was never, that was the whole issue with that contract.
So what do you want to do, Mel?
I just ask if we're gonna do that, we set like, at least for the time being, not past the last day of, November.
You should have a guy in there by then, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Okay. You put that in motion?
I'll make a motion.
For a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Okay. Jane,
No.
Aaron,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
JR.
Yes.
Okay, it's 3 yeses. Okay, the motion was to bring Mel back for, okay,
$500 a week,
okay.
not
Yeah.
beyond,
Wait a minute, hold on.
October 2nd.
October 2nd would have to be the first day, yes.
Okay, October 2nd,
and not beyond the last day of November.
not, and beyond last day of November. Okay, who made the second, please?
Aaron.
Okay, thank you.
I think there's one other thing, unless you have it, Jenny.
I'm sorry?
I think there's one more thing. Should we ask the board about, being able to offer up to a certain amount on a relocation?
We can ask that now.
To try to,
I did look into that to see how much it would be to, this is all quotes that I got from folks over the phone, just to get his household goods, And I did include a vehicle in there too, as far as the towing. It's right around $6,000, as far as a quote for that. So if you factor that in, plus, you know, I don't know if he's gonna be flying his family in here, or if they're gonna be driving a vehicle. We'd have to come up with a good number for that. I mean, if you're getting an airfare at $500 to $700 a person, and there's 7 of them,
He hasn't asked for anything yet, but I mean, if you could just,
Right. I think
Kind of
there was
flat dollar
something in
amount.
the original thing, but just so, you know, we can proceed with negotiations up to whatever the board
Yeah.
wants to do. Maybe
You-
it's 0, or if it's up to a certain dollar amount, whatever it is, just so can try to get it through negotiations and, not
And
have to
move
keep
forward.
calling these
And-
meetings
right.
back and forth.
I know when you and I were talking about it, we were discussing 5,000 for it. I don't know if that necessarily be enough, but that, again, that's up to the board. I mean, I'm thinking somewhere closer to 8. But, yeah, I mean, if the board wants to vote on that tonight too, that would be beneficial, so we would be prepared for that.
I mean,
If it's all airfares, it'd probably be closer to 10.
It very well might be. See, and that's the thing, he's gonna be moving just himself out here initially, and then his wife and his kids are gonna be coming in,
at the end of the school year.
yeah, in the summer. So that's why Mike suggested, he
So
said,
they're
hey,
gonna
let's
go
just,
finish out that whole school calendar year?
he doesn't wanna pull him out in the middle of the school year, yeah.
So he would move here, get an apartment, look for a house, you know, shop around, try to find a house, and his wife might come occasionally, and then get that all established, and at the end of the school year, then the rest of the family would move here.
Yeah, and then 10, honestly, Jane, 10 might be a more reasonable number, because we were even thinking about, okay, what about temporary living expenses for him, if we want to help him accommodate that until he finds an apartment? I mean, there's a lot of things that could come into play as far as that amount of money, and what it could go for. But what we're wanting to do is tell him, okay, this is the amount, 5,000, 8,000, whatever, this is what you have to relocate yourself. You do it, the best way that you can.
So, what amount you want to do?
I mean, I'll make a motion, to allow negotiations to go up to a $10,000 max for relocation.
There a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Yeah. Jane,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
JR's, no. Okay, it's 3 to 1.
Okay. Chairman Moore, Jim?
No, that's all that I have.
Anybody say anything else? Entertain a motion, adjourn.
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourned.
Thank you.
Well, it should be.
Yeah, the easy part.
Now can you figure out how to shut that thing off?
That's the easy part.
Start snipping wires. That way we get it fixed, we can turn off and on by switch. Take care.